afternoon, or is it good afternoon where you are right now?
It is. It is. I'm in New York.
Okay, New York
Yeah.
as well.
Oh,
Welcome to
cool.
New York.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Congratulations on getting this project done because we not only see you on the screen, behind the screen, we hear you, etc. Did you know when you were going to have multiple roles in it when you came on board the project?
Um, yeah, me and Rebecca, we made a film together in the pandemic. Like, I'm like, what year was it? 21, I think, or 20. It must have been 2021. The pandemic is a blur, as I'm sure it was for you.
Right.
But we basically, after Glow got cancelled, we just wanted to make something together because we loved working together so much, and we'd had ideas for music videos and like little like an animated series and just little like things that we'd always like mess around making each other laugh about. And then one night, I think it was in January of 2021, I was watching this news story about a coyote that got into this like woman's bedroom at night, and I was like, oh my god, me and Rebecca should make this into a horror film. And we started just texting about it, and we made Wild Bitch, and uh, it went to festivals, and because it did well at festivals, we got the opportunity to make Bad Rabbit. And um, you know, like we just want to make fun stuff together.
Hmm.
And I think it comes out of like things like this often come out of like no one else is giving you an opportunity as an actor, so you just create your own, and it's
Right.
kind of cool that like we've been able to do that because it's hard as an actor. You're often just auditioning and then not hearing back, like so every actor's auditioning for 100 roles and you get like one, and then you have a job, and then you don't have a job again until you get the next one out of
Yeah.
100. So it was just really empowering to go, yeah, let's just make something ourselves. Like we've kind of created a bit of a brand now with like Wild Bitch and Bad Rabbit, and we just make each other laugh and have so much fun working together.
I first learned about you as a musician. And so when I first saw you in Glow, it's like, "Yeah, Kate, the singer-songwriter? Oh, wow." And now we're seeing you as a director as well. Was the
Yeah.
plan all along to have this multifaceted career?
Not, I mean, not really, but also I was doing like acting classes when I was a kid and really liked it. And then I went to the Brit School and did theatre instead of music, which was a bit of a like left turn because I grew up playing piano and writing songs. And then I just loved acting so much. And I feel like when I went to the Brit School and did theatre, I feel like that really formed me as a creative person. And
Hmm.
doing theatre changed me as a songwriter, changed me as a storyteller. And I always felt like just trying different things. And I think that, you know, I I was interested in directing. I did some directing with music videos, but I just thought film. I was like, oh, I don't really know enough, and I don't know if I could do that. And then just because we wanted in Wild Bitch to really make it, we had quite a clear vision of what we wanted it to be, and so we just did it ourselves. And so when you try a new thing, you kind of unlock a new creative like door, and you're like, oh, I really
Yeah.
liked doing that, and we did a good job, and like maybe I can do more of it. And yeah, I'm currently working on a musical as well in New York, and that's like a whole different thing too. So I think you just have to be a little bit you can like be willing to do things that scare you a little bit, and then you end up
Sure.
feeling kind of more fearless because you're like, oh, I've overcome something. I mean, wrestling, god, did I ever think I was going to wrestle? No. And I
No,
love it.
I have a question or two about that later, but staying on Bite Size Halloween,
Yes.
it's a heartbreaking moment as a kid when you realize that the holiday music was not made during the holidays, that it was usually made in like May, June, July, and they put
True.
Christmas lights or menorahs or whatever up in the studio
Yeah.
to get it festive so they could meet the deadline to deliver it so it comes out around the holidays. What
Funny.
time of year did you film this Halloween friendly programming?
Yeah. Well, I personally believe horror is for all year round.
Yeah.
Um, so we made this in, was it February or March, maybe? Um, so not that long ago, but yeah, it wasn't Halloween. But like I said, I think I am a big horror fan, and
Hmm.
for me, like watching a horror movie is one of the like my funnest things I can do. And like when I'm stressed, especially, I just need to watch like people die and be murdered and horrible things happening. The more people that get cut to pieces, the better for some reason. I don't know what that says about me. Probably a lot, but you know.
Well, I'll say one thing it does say about you is that your interests are very diverse, that
Yeah.
your eggs are not in all one basket. In other words, what your songs are about is not what the art that you are interested in as a fan about. So that
Yeah.
kind of keeps us guessing about you, what you're going to turn out next.
Yeah. I think like in terms of songwriting, it's actually been interesting doing this musical. It's opened another like songwriting path for me, because my albums that I put out are always like me. It's like a time capsule of me, and it's very personal, and it's very much about the truth and how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And like I've started, working on this musical, and I now write for characters, and I
Mhm.
write for a different plot, and I love doing that. And I wrote a song called Imperfect for Kimmy Gatewood, actually, from Glow, and some of the writers from Glow were working on the Babysitters Club or for Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. That's
yeah,
a,
and
they can do the Freddie. I get it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they asked me to write a song for it, and I was like, yeah, I would love like for like a teen girl empowerment song. And now that I've done the work on the musical, it's made me enjoy writing from other perspectives. So yeah, I think my songwriting has really changed from doing Glow, from directing, from writing horror, from just kind of going more into like characters' minds. And it's something that I really enjoy now. And it frees me up in a way too, because you know, I don't have to like I don't have to be thinking, oh, there's two different things as a songwriter. Sometimes I'm like, I need to write a song because I'm stressed and I need to or I have a feeling that I want to emote, or I really want to write about this. But now I can write for loads of different reasons, which is great.
I'm thinking about it. Am I confusing the Babysitters Club, Troop Beverly Hills, and Adventures in Babysitting? Those are three
Might
different
be.
movies, but I don't
Might
know
be.
which one has the Do the Freddy in it. Is that the Troop Beverly Hills? If you
Oh,
don't
is
know it,
it?
I'm sorry.
Is it? I don't know. It's the
Yeah.
Babysitters Club, was there? Babysitters Club,
Oh,
for like kids who have they're babysitters. They're like 12-year-olds that
it was a
babysit.
book series, right?
Yeah, and there was a
Oh,
TV show in the 90s, and now it's like it came back. It actually got cancelled by Netflix, as did Glow. But unfortunately, because it was a great, great show. But
it happens. I mean, isn't life a series of this is going to happen? No, it's not. But in the process of that, something else happens. And hence
definitely.
why you've had a long career of unplanned
Yes.
projects one after the other. And going back to what you mentioned, Glow, I'm curious, having the name that you have, were
Mm.
any references made to you on a regular basis about Kevin Nash,
No.
one of the most famous wrestlers ever who has a kind of similar name to you?
It's true. No, I get Steve Nash a lot because my dad is called Steve. So, but no, it didn't come up. I have to call Chavo and ask him why it didn't come up.
He definitely knows Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Well, as you pointed out, you didn't anticipate doing anything wrestling related. And I'm sure it's brought you a whole new audience of people that didn't know your music and didn't know other projects. Did you know that Glow was that great when you first got the role?
Yes, I did. I knew Glow was great when I worked with Genji on a pilot called The Devil You Know.
Mhm.
That never came out. It starred Eddie Izzard, it had Karen Gillan, it had like an incredible cast, and it was set in the 1800s,
Sure.
and Zoe Ashton, like really amazing people. And it was like the script pages I got as an audition were about like baking like piss into cake and like sticking wooden sticks up like women's vaginas in like ritual. And I was like, this sounds like the best thing I've ever read. I need to be in the show. And I got that pilot, and then it didn't get picked up. And then but I'd worked with Genji and Jen Euston, who cast me in Glow and The Devil You Know. And so I saw the breakdown for Glow, and I think it was something so basic, like it was like spandex and hairspray and glitter and wrestling. And I was like, I need to be, this sounds like the best show ever from these four words. And I watched the documentary on
Yeah.
Netflix about the original Glow Girls, and I was like, why is this the perfect role. Like somehow, like all my experiences, I felt like led me to that unexpected place. Like you're saying, I never thought wrestling would be in my life, but then all of a sudden I was like, this makes so much sense. This is
I
why
can,
me and my sisters beat each other up every day. And when we were young, like I have so much experience in wrestling. And yeah, and I just knew like the cast are still some of my greatest friends, you know, Rebecca, obviously. And like I saw Chris Lowell last night. He came to the show in New York, and so did Gail Rankin. And we're just like a family, really. And everyone was so talented and so much fun. And what we were doing was so unique, and so
Mhm.
many women, like so like all these like diverse, interesting women just like landed in my life. And it's one of the most valuable things that has ever happened to me. Like it taught me so much about the world and about who I want to be as a person in the world, as a leader when I get to be one, just as a co-worker. And we had just it was just so fun. It was just so fun. I loved G.L.O.W so much.
It's great to hear as a fan
Yeah.
that it was fun off screen as well, because sometimes comedies are
Yes.
not fun the second that they say cut. So the
You listen.
last thing I have for you before I let you
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
being
yeah, yeah.
mindful of your time, was Yesterday Was Forever was the last full-length album of yours I'm aware of. Is there another one in the works, or is that on hold while you pursue film and TV?
No, there is one. I have a finished album. It's called Nine Sad Symphonies. I want to release it next year. Yeah, I just kind of didn't have time to do it this year with the musical and everything, but there's an album ready to go on my computer. I have all the files. So, because Yesterday Was Forever seems so long ago. So yeah, I have to figure out a way to put that out. But like you said, it's always just taking a left turn and like figuring out what's next. So
Better to be busy than bored. That's, I think, the lesson to learn here.
definitely, definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever it is coming next year, whether it's another thing like Bad Rabbit, whether it's another thing like G.L.O.W, that solo album, whatever it is, Kate, looking forward to it. And thank you for the many years of great art.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's really nice talking to
Likewise.
you.
Paltrocast.